Okay.
Yeah, that sounds like a good start. Hopefully, at least.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, okay, this is actually take 3 now of what we're trying to do here, and so I think we may finally have it right, at least so far. We're almost a minute in already.
Yeah, let's get going.
Okay. So, we are here. Who are you, Zon?
Who am I, Zon? I am Zon Martin Richardson, and who are you, Jamie?
Who am I, Jamie? Before I answer that, we are here with BeanZ LovE Richardson. And she is our CaninE CompanionN HerO, and the reason why, a big reason why HeelerZ started.
Yes, she started it.
Yep.
But who are you? Who are you, Jamie?
Oh yeah, who am I, Jamie? I am Jamie Robin Richardson. And we are, I guess, what makes up HeelerZ or something like that.
Yes, something like that.
Yeah.
And why are we here?
We are here because it is Monday, December 21st, 2020.
Oh yeah, thanks for remembering to mention the date.
Yeah, I just now thought of it. So it's Monday, December 21st, 2020. It's 10:37 and 43 seconds p.m. We're here to do the commentary on our new album for 2020. We only did one this year, but here we go. An album called bacK.
Yes.
That's why we're here.
Yes, we have an album now out called bacK. And I guess that title sounds like a lot of people would think it was like, it meant like telling somebody back down or back off or step off or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
But it actually means back down to the basement. In a way, we probably mentioned this. Every album we've done, we probably mentioned something about deep freeze, too. You know, how it's, well, maybe not all, but like we did Special Dark, and it was sort of a deep freeze-esque. It wasn't really a deep freeze 2, but it was kind of somewhat that idea.
Right, and some of the other albums, too, probably had that idea somewhere along the lines.
Yeah. So the whole idea with bacK is, I don't know why did we mention deep freeze?
I think maybe because it's taking us... I think we did have a better reason or a better answer to that.
Yeah.
But, so I guess the concept of this year's album, bacK, was... What we meant by it is that we're going back down to the basement. Oh, and this is why we mentioned deep freeze on, is because deep freeze had a lot to do with just... We talked a lot about just being in certain rooms. Like deep freeze part 1 were kind of the intro, and we're in this one room, and then the second part was we went to another room in the house and described that, the piano breezeway room.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, and then part 3, I think, is where we actually tried to go outside the house. Oh my God, a recluse, however the hell you say that.
Right, I don't know.
That went out of the house. And then part 4 was back in, and then actually the end of part 4 of Deep Freeze was, where do we end up, right?
The basement.
Yeah. So maybe I guess it's why we're mentioning the basement. Or, I mean, Deep Freeze again,
Right.
Because bacK is, I guess the idea we had was, a lot of times, a lot of our albums, I guess, just end up being, the songs on them just end up kind of being about what happened that year,
Right, exactly. And this year we went back down to the basement.
Right. So this year we actually went down, and this is back in January. It was the beginning of 2020, and we decided to go downstairs, and we just decided to clean out down. Well, we were gonna do a little project down there that didn't work out, but we had.
Yeah, right.
So we had just cleaning out the basement, and then we decided, let's paint the basement. So we just had this basement project. So that kind of gave us the idea of bacK. And going back down, that's part of the title. Why we call it back down, because we went back down to the basement. But also, we say that a lot.
Yes, also.
Yeah. So we went down there, and then some things happened, and which I guess we'd need to start rolling the album, actually, so we can describe what happened, right?
Right. Sorry I said it that way.
It's the only way you know how to say it, man.
Yeah, true.
So there was going back down to the basement, and also I know I said it again.
That's okay. Keep rolling.
Yes. Yes.
Have a swig of beer, damn it. We both will.
It's the only way, man.
Okay.
Oh shit, beer count, man.
Oh yes, beer count is. We started. We had I think 3 in us, right? And was that right?
Yeah. Well, we were gonna start after 2, and then we cracked the beer and forgot. And that's the reason we started it over 3 times, because we forgot we wanted to start this commentary off by cracking a beer, and then you heard a lighter sound, lighten something up. You get the picture. So we want to start it that way.
Yes. Exactly.
So, anyhow, beer count's on.
Beer count 3. So we ended up having 3 in us, and then by then we finally remembered, on the 4th beer at least, to hit the recorder and start it off with cracking open beer 4. So we're on beer 4 now.
Yes, just a little bit in. We got 3 beers and a couple sips beyond 3 beers in us. So that's the beer count.
Yes. And that is our report for the beer count, yes.
Yes. And that's the news from tonight. Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
All right, back on point, man. We're here to do an album commentary or something.
Right. You were talking about it, so keep going.
Okay. So, and mind you, the beer count, just make things fucked up more. We were trying to get into the right frame of mood to, there's a certain chemistry that makes these things work best, right?
Yeah, 3 to 4 beers at least. Back in the day, we would not even start until 5 or 6.
Right. And probably more, you'd hear the lighter more.
Yeah, there'd be more of that too.
Yeah. So now you hear, just like one cracking of beer and a lighter or 2. Anyway, let's do the album.
Yes.
All right, so the other idea back down was because we've been in this house since 2004, at least the foundation. Let's talk about the foundation real quick.
Okay, so the foundation is what we call the thing we live in now. We I don't know, sometime in the last year we thought of that, just calling that the foundation, the physical thing, whatever. So from this point on, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna, if you hear the word foundation, that's what we're talking about.
Yes.
Okay, so go ahead with the back down.
Okay. So, so we moved in this house in 2004, and originally the basement was where we used to record before we were called HeelerZ, and it was a different life, a different chapter of life and all that stuff.
Right.
Stop saying that, you're going to crack me up.
Sorry.
Don't be sorry.
Okay.
So the thing, too, though, is that even before that, we lived in the trailer, and we recorded there, and when we first moved in here, I mean, okay, so the thing is, back then, we think that we were more heavier bass hounded. It seems like we used to turn the bass up more than we do now. But then again, some of our last albums, it seemed like the bass was pretty good and loud too. And we always tried to pluck, as far as playing bass, well, Zon, as we pass it off this way, Zon does the instruments and Jamie does the singing, but that's just how we pass it off,
Right.
Told you to stop saying that.
I'm sorry, I forgot.
I know, so did I.
Anyway.
Yes. So, part of the idea of Back Down was that we would turn the bass up again and just kind of try to record like we used to. But then, I don't know, Zon. Did we really do that, or?
Well, first of all, we completely hacked this album because even though it's called bacK dowN, it's a return to the basement in one sense. But it's a total hack because we actually still recorded the entire album up here in the front room as we've been recording. Every HeelerZ album has been recorded up here so far since 2014, since Deep Freeze.
Yeah.
So we still ended up recording bacK dowN up here, which makes no sense at all. But
yeah, well, I mean, we had everything set up, all the recording stuff set up here, though. So, I mean, what we're gonna do is spend a weekend bringing everything down to record everything down there.
Well, if we were really that motivated, that's really probably how we should have done this album. But we didn't because we're hacks.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. We know some nice people that talk about how, so-and-so band, those people are hacks. But then, like, they were nice enough to say that some of our shit wasn't so bad. But we're hacks, man. All we do is play for, like, 2 minutes and then spend, like, days just trying to fix it.
Yeah, we're really trying to sell this album good, aren't we, Jamie?
Yeah, well, no. But we don't care. That's part of HeelerZ, man. We don't care. We don't care. We never sold anything, and we never expected to, and it wasn't really about that. I mean, if somebody wanted to buy it, we ain't stopping them, man. But
right.
But we're not. It's just an outlet, as we've described many times before. So what was the other thing about bacK dowN, son? Let's get into this. We are 12 and a half minutes in, haven't even started the album yet.
True. Okay, so quickly, yes. We're so quick that it took us a half hour even to start the album.
Right. We got to do it, man, though. Man, though.
All right. So the other thing about bacK dowN, and hopefully we're not infringing on any kind of rights here by mentioning this, but the TV show Stranger Things, we just saw that since early this year, the 3 seasons that are so far of that, and and those of you out there who know that show Stranger Things, the whole upside down thing, we ended up playing a kind of just a big role in this album, because it kind of seemed like we started with this going back downstairs, and it was kind of the upside down of the upstairs or something like that, which we will try to describe as if we ever get this album actually started.
Right.
And so Stranger Things, the whole upside down thing, ended up being a big influence, and this ended up kind of giving us a couple of ideas, partially, one of a couple ideas that ended up being a couple of the songs on this album.
Yes. Okay, so with that, we should now give you, not that any of you care.
I think people get into the fucking commentary of the album more than the actual album.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, whatever.
Let's just go.
I know. Okay, so we now give you, now that we're 14 minutes and 20 seconds into this commentary, let's now give you the 42 or so minutes. And by the way, it's a little bit shorter album. We made it to 42 minutes, but it's not like some of our other albums were longer.
Yes. Yeah, 52 minutes, whatever, but let's go.
Yes. So we now give you this year's HeelerZ album called bacK dowN. In the background. Here we go. And it's a slow fade in, so it's going to take a minute to hear anything anyway. And we're going to take a pee break while we're at that too, right, Don?
Yes, yeah, I think we should.
All right, so we now give you bacK dowN, HeelerZ 2020 album for December 2020. Here we go. Just slow fade in.
All right, let it go. Let's go.
Okay. one way to attempt to get people to listen to the album he's on.
Yeah. Like I said, the commentary is probably more interesting than the fucking album anyway, so.
Yeah. So we'll talk our bullshit and have the album in the background and see what happens.
Right. Right.
Right. I can't do it. So that's probably starting to come in. The slow fade in of the first song, by the way, let's mention that.
Yeah, the first song is called, it's a long song. It's actually a two-parter that we did split up at one point. It can be two songs, but we ended up deciding that we wanted all one piece. So it's basically two songs, but it's one song. It's 10 minutes and 40 seconds long.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, you know, all these songs are on YouTube with lyrics videos.
Get up and out.
Yes, thank you. Because that's the only videos we really do for the most part. It's lyrics videos, so.
Right.
Stop saying right.
Sorry.
So anyway, this song is called Tinnitus/Lower Level Intro. And that was another thing, right, Tom? The intro thing?
Yeah, we originally we thought of doing an intro, and we thought, well, you know, how long are most intros? You know, if there's any albums that have an intro piece or song, whatever it is, how long are they? Usually, you would think of an intro as not being that long, and we thought it too, right?
Yeah, I think we had the idea that they shouldn't be that long.
Yeah, and you know, like 2 minutes maybe tops, and this thing was already up to like 3, and then we decided to just make this whole 10-minute fucking song, 10 minutes and 40 second song. And we still decided to call it the intro, because fuck it, why not have a 10-minute, 40-second intro, right?
Yeah, because, you know, we're so different.
Yeah, that's how we try to be different. We do stupid shit and hope it's different.
Yeah, well, I think it is, but it doesn't mean it's good.
Yeah. Yeah, some things are different and they're cool because they're different. Some things, they're kind of different, but they just still suck.
Yeah.
Alright, so this is called Tinnitus Lower Level Intro.
Yeah, so, like as one of us said, I think it was on, but I don't remember by now.
Right, me either.
That, this... So, like, the first half of what would be one song is called Tinnitus, and it's about tinnitus. And it's about how we're not sure, like, it's really just about us trying to mix songs. And we're not sure if this is sounding right because our tinnitus, and not, you know, like, not that we were ever professionals by any means of mixing music, but now with the tinnitus, is it worse, you know?
Yeah, and our friend JV has tinnitus. He still does it pretty professionally, and he knows a lot about that shit.
Yeah, that's true. He just got it and does it. So, but we're not professionals. We don't know what we're doing.
Right.
Okay, this was the first half. That was the mellow part of this song called Tinnitus. Okay, and now, and like we said, we have the lyrics video, so it makes, well, maybe it makes more sense if you listen to them. Maybe not.
Right, we have no idea. Turn down a little bit. I think the music's gonna end up grounding us out a little bit here. And nobody wants to hear that shit anyway.
Right. Okay, so now we're now. Not
again, you repeated it unnecessarily or something.
Yeah, I said it twice and I didn't need to.
Right.
Okay, so.
We point out every one of our mistakes, by the way.
Everyone we can catch.
Yeah. There's probably a few we don't catch because we're stupid. Drink beer and shit.
Yeah, whatever. Okay, so anyway, we're in like the part 2 of this song, which is the lower level part. And we're kind of talking about, I guess, going down to the basement at this point, right?
Yeah, it's kind of weird. And another thing we got to mention, this album just kind of jumps around. We tried to make it kind of in chronological order of the events of this year, you know, for whatever we wrote of this year.
Yeah.
So, but some of it still is kind of, actually it pretty much does go that way, except, well, once we get to the next song, it's kind of almost the same idea as the second part of this song. You know, this song is Tinnitus/Lower Level,
Yeah, the guy in the news says slash instead of slash.
Right. But, and it's that squiggly thing. I don't even know what they call that. It's not a slash, but anyway.
So yeah, Lower Level is this more rocking second half of the whole song. And, so this is just about, I guess, going back down to the basement, but song 2 is kind of about the same thing, right?
Yeah, song 2 is called Back Down. It's the title track. And it's probably, I don't know. I was going to say it's by far probably not the best song on the album, but I don't know what song is the better song.
Yeah, none of them.
Yeah, that's well, we just pass that off as our style. You know, our style is that our songs suck. We purposely make them suck.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with the fact that we just don't know how to really play anything, or Zod doesn't really know how to play anything, and right, and I don't know how to sing.
Right, exactly. We're just a crappy band of two that is really one foundation, right? There's the word foundation again.
Yes, we mentioned that earlier.
Yes, and we're just testing our memory.
Yeah, we remember that, man. Cool, man. We read it all by ourselves like a fucking Dr. Seuss book.
Yeah, something like that. That's great.
Yeah.
All right. We need some beer.
Yes, we do. Oh, good shit. BeanZ is with us, right? Ugh, sorry about that. Sorry. BeanZ is with us, right next to us here. Hello, BeanZ. BeanZ LovE Richardson, or CaninE CompanionN HerO. The one who really started it, whether she knows it or not.
Right.
So we were listening to track 1 of Back Down, HeelerZ new album of 2020, December. The only album we did this year. But it's called Tonight's Lower Level Intro.
Right. We were just petting BeanZ, and then we realized we were still petting her, but she had left. We were just petting the air.
Yeah, I guess we're getting buzzed, man.
Cool. Hopefully this will be a good commentary.
Fuck yeah, man. Fucking. Yeah, it's the night. Damn it.
Not gonna, but not wrong word.
Yes. It's just the right night for this commentary that's on. I just feel good about it.
Hopefully it'll be a lot of laughs.
Yes.
Moving forward.
Okay. Oh, Zon's voice always cracks me up, man.
Yes.
Okay, so this is the ending of the long song of track 1. And I think we pretty much said what it's about, right? You know, it's about not just having tinnitus, but also how do we mix music anymore because of tinnitus. Plus, we didn't really know what we're doing in the first place, so there's all those elements, right?
Yes, and we have no idea what this is gonna sound like to people. Probably horrible. We have to at least assume that. If it sounds decent, great, and that's all we can hope for. But you know, if it sounds crappy, then we understand. Oh, there we go.
Yep, cuckoo, 11 o'clock. That's gonna be the commentary now.
Yep.
Okay, it's 11 o'clock, and that baby is still running just a few seconds slow there, son.
Yeah, been trying to adjust the cuckoo forever here. Since it started running again a few months ago.
Okay, so this is like, okay, so tonight's, and then the lower level was the more rocking part where we actually go down to the basement. And now we kind of finished that long-ass thing off with this mellow part here. And that right here, we're just talking about, like, just, you know, the foundation, I guess, being alone. Running through different rooms that we painted different colors and trying to have different worlds or something in this house, within the walls of this house, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, we are now finally on to track 2. Now, and also, that's the longest song on the whole fucking album. So once we get through that, they actually get kind of shorter. And that's another kind of weird thing about this album. It, you know, it just kind of, even though, like we were saying, we try to kind of put it in chronological order of what happened this year. As we've kind of I think we've done that with some of the other albums, maybe all of them, right?
Yeah. But but yeah, this album kind of just jumps around. Actually, kind of starts out in a certain order, but then it gets kind of just. Anyway, why don't we give it away? Let's talk about it when we get to it.
Yes. Well, I think sometimes we want to talk about it right now because we're afraid we're going to forget. When we get to that song, we're going to forget to mention shit, which we always fucking do.
Yeah, that's true. There's no way around it.
No. So, oh well. Okay, so song 2, track 2. This is our title track called Back Down, and it's also much like the second half of Tinnitus Lower Level. The lower level half of Tinnitus Lower Level, right?
Yeah.
This is where we talk about back down, going back down to the basement, and without mentioning it too much, this just because it's everywhere and you're reminded of it every fucking 5 minutes all the time, and it's a shitty thing, but it's like you can't shut your life off of it completely either. The events of 2020, the sickness going on. So there's a little bit of an element in the lyrics of this song Back Down about the events of 2020, right?
Yeah, we just always said was, the thing is, we started the Basement Project even before all that shit started. Well, not before, but before it was getting more realized and becoming a thing in this country and everything. So we did kind of mention some things about, like, well, if we go back down to the basement, maybe we can hide from what's going on in 2020. And the fact that we had already went down there to clean up, and I mean, we literally did take bleach because we had mice down there and it's mice shit and stuff like that. So like we wiped literally the whole damn near the whole basement down with a bucket of bleach water and stuff like that. So we really did actually sanitize the basement. And then all of a sudden we're hearing all this shit about, make sure you're sanitized. So we that kind of gave us the idea for this song too. Not only going back down to the basement, going back down to the roots of the mid 2004, 5, 6, first few years being in the house when we were down there, we're recording and all that stuff and different life and all that.
Yeah.
But we'd already kind of been bleaching for a different reason before, just because we wanted to clean the basement. That was the reason. And then all of a sudden, oh shit, bleach everything, sanitize everything. So it's like, well, hey, we already got this basement, so like maybe this was early in the year. We're first hearing about all this shit too. That was kind of a gimmick, but right?
Gimmick.
Yes, thank you. So the whole thing with that. So we kind of incorporated a little bit of that into the lyrics without fully talking about it, because we figured a lot of people were going to write songs about that shit anyway.
Yeah, right. And even whether they did or not, we just kind of didn't want to do that.
Right. Not because we don't think it's important, just because we're not, political is not the right word, but, just because sometimes people write songs about serious events in the world, and it's like, do they really care? I think Mike Watt mentioned this once before, like on the old Minutemen interview. They talk about it, but do they really care about it? Do they really believe in it? Are they just doing it to cash in for themselves and shit like that? So that was not the idea here.
No, we just really were already cleaning the basement with bleach, and then all this 2020 sickness shit happened. So we just wrote about, like, well, maybe we didn't know a lot about it early in the year, and we wrote that song early this year. And so we were like going, well, maybe the basement is already clean and sanitized to where if we have to move down there for that reason also. So that was kind of another reason for the whole back down concept of this album, was, right?
Yeah.
Because maybe the basement is the right place to be right now because of what's going on or something.
Right.
So that was that. That was track 2, Back Down, title track. Okay, we're now on to track 3. 8 years. This one is a sentimental one. And it has to, I guess, the best way we could put that, this has mostly, sorry.
Just go.
Okay. This song has mostly to do with the foundation that we live in. There's that word again, foundation.
Yes. Sip a beer before we go further on this song.
Good idea. Sorry, a little burp there on Don's part.
We both burp, but my voice.
My voice. Okay. Alright, so this is track 3. This is called 8 Years. Now, this is kind of a song that's like in chronological order of what happened. Now, we wrote this song like in February, right?
Right, and by then, like we were talking about, we really went downstairs and started cleaning the basement. And then, decided to later on to paint it and all that. But this is before even we decided to paint it, actually. And we were in the midst of cleaning. We had, the foundation. Okay.
You said okay.
Sorry. So, one of the things we did down there was we cleaned out all the file cabinets. The foundation cleaned out the file cabinets. And there was all these papers, utility bill stuff, all this crap. Went through all that. And then there was other stuff in the file cabinets. Old Christmas cards from family members and stuff like that. So, we or the foundation, which I guess is all of us.
Yeah.
We keep a lot of that stuff. Because all these neat cards, I don't know. It's kind of a hoarding problem. So, anyway. In the midst of the cards, after the cards were the cards from the last life of the foundation, the married life, all that stuff, and we started. How do I say it?
just don't worry about that, man. Just say it. Describe it.
All right. So, in the midst of that, the foundation found Christmas cards from the ex. So this song is in part about the ex and the memory of at this time 8 years ago. By now it's been 8 years since that last life, right?
Yeah. HeelerZ is almost 7 years old. And that life ended 8, actually probably going on 9 years by now.
Yeah, we want to get this album out before the end of this year, so this song 8 years still makes sense. Because otherwise, if it was later, it'd be 9 years by then, and the song is called 8 years, and it'd be fucking all up by then.
Yeah. So yeah, okay, cliff notes on that one, Don, man,
Yeah, you do it.
I'm gonna try. So this song is just about going down to the basement, going through all this shit, and all of a sudden, like, seeing all these things that should have been thrown away years ago, but because there's a hoarding thing, all these things were kept, and some of included in with all those things was like Christmas anniversary cards from the ex from the last life that the foundation had. And there was like a 2-week period there back in February 2020 about just really being sad about that last life ending. And even though that last life ended 8-9 years ago, and there was a 2-year period of getting over that. There was depression, there was anger, there was 2 years of all that shit. So, and then it finally got better up until 8 years later, these Christmas anniversary cards were gone through. And there was just a 2-week sad period, and that's why the song 8 Years was written and done, right?
Yeah, it was the song that we never wanted to write, or the foundation never wanted to write.
Yeah, but it just, I guess, sorry.
Go ahead.
That song just was kind of like getting something off your back. Didn't really want to write it, but it had to be written. So, we could act like, we're artists and certain songs just need to be written, right?
Yeah, if we wanted to pass it off that way, but we just feel like assholes that play with noise, right?
Yeah, that's all it is to us, man. Really, it's really just all it is. Okay, so we're on track 4 now. This song is called Band-Aid. And we wrote this song actually a little later. This is a song that we kind of wrote because we were in a situation where we had to come up with some songs, right?
Yeah, right, exactly.
And we dug back a few years into like our HeelerZ files of just like last minute, end of the night, 20-second recordings of crap, you know, like a bass line or whatever. And we found this bass line from like 2017 that we never did anything with. It was 20 or 30 seconds long. So we ended up making that bass line into this song called Band-Aid. And it was written a little later. It was, it's actually earlier, you know, it's track 4 on the album, but it's earlier in the chronological order of the album than we actually wrote it, right?
Yeah. At this point, it doesn't really make sense. Actually, the first 3 songs, you know, Back Down was kind of like the same idea as the second part of Tonight Is Lower Level and all that. And then 8 years was, you know, we go back down, and then once we're back down cleaning, we find this stuff, and then we get sad because we find this stuff. So there's 8 years. That song was written because of that. So that was song 3. So you got 1, 2, 3. Tonight's Lower Level 1, Back Down 2, 8 years 3, and now we're on Band-Aid 4. But Band-Aid was really written later because the first lyrics on there is saw the band, the band, damn it.
Wrong word, not getting put out.
Right. But the first line in there is saw the van get pulled away because we finally got rid of our old van that's been sitting in the driveway for like 8, 9 years. And then a few months later, we got rid of Winnie 2, the little Chevy Prism. Now we got the Mini Cooper, and that's the only car we have now. But anyway, we wrote that song. It was also about ripping off the Band-Aid, basically, you know, just like sometimes you got to just rip off Band-Aids in life. It was really just basically that idea. I'm trying to hurry this up because we're already on track 5. Right?
Yeah.
So that was Band-Aid. It was about ripping the Band-Aid off, basically, you know, moving on kind of thing. You know, I guess it was almost, in a way, kind of a positive, maybe, sort of, even though most of our shit is dreary and negative.
Yeah. Okay, song 5, man. Okay, so now song 5 is called Right Back. And it's kind of in chronological order again at this point in the album, right?
Yeah, it kind of just, you know, whatever. Goes around. How do we took notes on this damn commentary. We actually have some notes here on a postie, on a sticky note. We're good. For this reason, damn it, because we're really bad at this.
Yeah.
Jumps around, that's it.
Yeah. The album kind of jumps around, but at the same time, we try to put it in some sort of 2020 chronological order.
Right.
So, this is, and speaking of right, that you...
I know, I keep saying it, sorry.
Don't be sorry, it's just funny. So this song is track 5. It's called Right Back. So far the album took us back down to the basement. Back down, wrong word, I'm sorry. Back down to the basement. And then we cleaned up down there, and we revamped, and then we found these things, and it got sad for a minute. And then we realized we had to rip the Band-Aid off, right?
Right. And so now Right Back is track 5. At this point, we realize, all right, we went down, we did this, but we got to go right back upstairs again. Eventually, you know, we actually, and really that project in the basement took about 3 months, but we did get right back up. We actually didn't even, we were still trying to do music during that project. We were still trying to, like, you know, because we were spending a whole lot of time working on that, and we were still trying to get some music shit done at the end of the night, and it's rare that we take a break from music for a couple of months and don't do it at all.
Yeah, we got so involved in that project that it was like midnight, and we were still, you know, getting done down there at midnight. It's like, man, you know, we got no time to fuck with music at this point, man. Right now, the basement project is what's going on. So we finally did take a music break for a few months there, which we haven't done in a few years, actually. That's probably, you know, now that I think about it, you know, years ago we used to, like, do an album for about 6 months and then take 5-6 months off and then start working on another album again. And then after a couple years of that, we just didn't stop.
Right. for the whole year. You know, we get done with an album, take maybe a couple of day break, and that was it. Start going again.
Yeah. But then, like, the basement project was like maybe 2 months, you know. Like I said, we're still trying to, like, work on it, but, eventually we're just like, man, we don't have time for music. Shit, holy shit, we're finally doing something that's winning the what the hell you call it, you know. It's weighing over the music, you know.
Yeah. So then this song, though, right back. Basically, you know, we went down, we re-experienced, you know, some memories down there. We cleaned it, we painted it, and eventually it was like, well, what do we do now? So we came back upstairs, right? That's what we had to do because you know, for the last, you know, 8 years, you know, the last 8 years we've been upstairs. 8 years before that we were, you know, we didn't. Well, there was a time we slept down there for a while, but we didn't. Other than that, I mean, we didn't sleep down there, but we spent a whole lot of time down there in the last life, and the foundation's married life and all that. So right back, you know, we finally, part of the idea of that song was that we realized home at this point in 2020, home is back upstairs, actually. As much as we like the downstairs and the upside down, as we now call the basement, downstairs, upside down, right?
Yeah. Stranger Things, man.
Yeah. But as much as we love it down there, I mean, it's all fixed up now, we've still been up here for the last 8 years. In this front room. I don't mean the bedroom where we sleep, but I mean where we live. You know, we used to live in the basement, basically. Outside of sleeping, we lived in the basement. But now, outside of sleeping in the bedroom, our awake life is in this front room, has been for 8 years. So the whole the idea of the song Right Back was that we came, after the project downstairs, we came right back up and realized that home is, I mean, the house is home, but, you know, but this front room, this upstairs has really been it. And again, even though this is back down, and you know, the idea of recording like we did years ago, whatever, Stranger Things and all these things about the basement, this whole damn album was still recorded right here in this front room. So like the front room really is home.
Yeah, right, exactly. Okay, song 6, man.
Go ahead.
Okay, so song 6 is actually, I think, the first song we wrote for this song. We started working on it. The date here is December 22nd of 2019, which, damn, tomorrow is 1 year.
Holy shit, yeah.
So, this is a song called Drunk Girl. It's track 6 of this album. It's called Drunk Girl. And this was actually just, the lyrics of this song, it's just really kind of comedic. All it was a poking fun at the Jamie vocals, right?
Yeah.
And neither of us take offense to that because, you know, we're both the same foundation and all that shit.
Right.
But, yeah. So Drunk Girl is, and by that title, it may sound like it's about a drunk girl, right? But it's actually, right?
Yeah.
It's really just about the Jamie's vocals. How we think, like, first of all, we don't know what this sounds like to anybody else. Maybe it sounds okay. Again, you know, we mentioned this, I think, before. Maybe it sounds okay. Maybe it sounds horrible. We don't know what this sounds like to other people. But to us, it's like, well, you know, to us, we're not sure either. So every once in a while, it's like, well, okay, maybe it works. But a lot of the time, I think we're just like, God, this probably sounds horrible, man. This is like somebody doing an imitation of somebody that can sing. And so so the whole idea of this song is, does this sound cool? Does this sound like a sexy girl or something, right?
Right.
Or does this just sound like horse shit, you know? And that's the whole idea of the song. It's just poking fun at the Jamie vocals, literally. That's it.
Yeah, that's the whole idea of these vocals. We need to write a song that's poking fun at the Zon instruments, though, too.
We'll work on that. We're taking note of it right now. This is getting recorded, so we'll listen back to this and hear it again. And, you know, because we have such horrible memory, you know, hopefully we'll build on that one day, Zon.
Yeah, that's recording is God. You know, that's the only reason we've been able to do anything is because we're lucky to have the ability and the equipment to be able to record it and hear it back.
Right. So this is Drunk Girl, and we try our best. We don't, we try to rock some of these songs. Some of them are mellow. We don't know if it's good or not, man. But I gotta say, Zon, we try to get some songs to sound like they're kind of rocking. We do our best, man. I mean, and both of us are almost 4 beers in. So if I sound like I'm getting drunk, it's because I am.
Right on. It's weird because Zon doesn't really sound drunk as Jamie.
No. And speaking of no, track 7 is a song called No. This is the second time we've written a song about having issues with cameras, right?
Yeah, it's called No, and it's in... No.
Cracking yourself up, man.
Yes. All right, so this is called No, track 7, and it's 7, sorry.
Let's go.
It's about saying no to being, it's basically about saying no to video. Because HeelerZ audio, that's it. It's all it can ever be. And we pass it off. We mentioned this before. We pass it off as kind of a healer shtick, but it's really a serious fear of the foundation. Serious fear. It's a phobia of the foundation. I always had a problem with pictures, all that crap. We won't go into it. If you want to know, again, all these songs are on YouTube, and we do lyrics video. We just do lyrics videos for all of them. So, but all the lyrics are there. Anyone who gives a half of a fuck, not that they will, but
yeah, not that you do. But if there's ever any one person out there on this planet that wants to know what we're trying to, and even if you read the lyrics, they may still not make sense. Sometimes we don't even understand them.
Right. We got to mention that this song was not only about the camera fear. This is our second song we wrote about that. We had a song called Why It's Weird off our Temple of the Night album, and that was about camera fear too. Go back and listen to that. Hey, feel free.
Yeah, we're not stopping you.
But this song's called No. It's about that for the second time. We never wrote about that before until last year. Temple of the Night was 2 albums ago. We did Special Dark before this album, and then Temple of the Night before that. And that was the first time we ever even thought of really writing about camera fear. So we did that, and then we did it again here. Kind of, sort of. It was kind of because of some events that happened to us this year. There's a guy at work that was going around fucking videoing people saying he was making a movie about people at work or some shit, and we're like, no, you can't do that. But it's also inspired again by the TV show Stranger Things. The character 11. There was a couple times in there where she said, Jamie, you're probably better at saying the 11 no.
So 11 a couple times in Stranger Things said no.
Like the other kids were trying to offer to help her, and she knew it was not the right thing for her. So how did she say it?
It's like, well, the kids were like, you don't want us to call help for help? And 11 knew that would just get her back to the bad people, and she didn't want to go back there. So the kids were saying, you don't want us to call for help? And she would say, no, I can't. I don't know if I'm doing that right, but there you go. There's the no. That was the whole inspiration by track 7, for our track 7, our 7th song on this album that was called No. Okay, we're on to track 8, son, and we need a pee break.
Okay, so track 8, let's run into this one real quick. This is called The Loner Remains, and
it wouldn't be a HeelerZ album if we didn't have a loner song on it, right?
Yes. We wrote this song, because, at least to some extent, there's always going to be an element of loner in this foundation and in this band, I guess, even though this band is 2 voices, not 2 people, just 2 voices that live in one foundation. Not to mention BeanZ LovE Richardson, our CaninE CompanionN HerO, our dog, who was a big inspiration in getting HeelerZ kind of started. I don't know if it was her idea, but she came into our life and saved us in a lot of ways. So she was a big reason why we wanted to call it HeelerZ and Boone and all that too. So.
Yeah, and we got that on a lot of other of our commentary and bullshit sessions and everything. Alright, so basically this is track 8 of this album, Back Down, and the song is called The Loner Remains. And that's what it's about. The loner remains, you know. I mean, there's still some things going on to where we're not saying we're like, you know, and a loner, how can a loner be we, right? That's just fucked up.
Yeah, we can't really explain any of this. We don't know. We do our best to explaining it, but we really can't. Even if anyone does, look at the lyrics videos. We try to describe them, even, you know, it's good we can with the lyrics, but we don't know if the lyrics make sense or not either.
Yeah, right. So it's called The Loner Remains, and it's kind of a mellow tune and kind of a drifty thing. It's something that we almost could have put on Special Dark had we written it that year.
Yeah, this is a little bit Special Dark-esque, which I guess is a little Deep Freeze-esque even.
Yeah, a lot of things go to back to Deep Freeze, which is our first recording that we ended up considering to be our first HeelerZ album. Back January to April 2014, we recorded that.
We need a pee break.
Okay, Loner Remains. We'll be right back. Sad songs, huh?
Well, the mood does change several times throughout this album. I guess that's part of us saying that it jumps around, you know. Like, you know, there's the kind of chronological order that it goes in. But, well, it basically does, but it's just that some of the songs were written at different times that we, you know, like, that were written later, but we realized fit in earlier in the album, you know.
Yeah.
But, the mood kind of goes back and forth here, too, you know. It's kind of weird, you know, like, starts out, kind of rocks for a couple of songs, and then it gets kind of dramatic for a couple of songs, and then the rest of the album, you know, and then for like 3 songs in a row, they're kind of rockers, and then No's kind of a pissed off rocker song, you know.
Yeah, I know, because it's called No.
Yeah. And then after No is The Loner Remains, track 8 here, we're listening to Now, and, kind of you know, back to the dreary keyboard, middle of the night and the dark sound, you know. Oh, 11:30.
Who said 11:30?
Yeah. So there's this. That's all we can tell you. Okay, and then it just cuts right in. That's the end of The Loner Remains, track 8. Cuts right into track 9. And another thing is we did some shorter songs on this album. You know, we always try to go for, I don't know, for some reason 4 minutes. We always try to get at least 4-minute songs. And some end up being 4, maybe 5 minutes. And this one we did a couple of shorter ones. And the song lengths on the album kind of progressively get shorter towards the end of the album. So this is song 9. It's called 16 Years. It's the last track on the album. And it's clocks in at 2 minutes and 12 seconds. That's it. And the song No was 2:57. That's a shorter one, too. But anyway.
Yeah.
You want to describe the rest of it? Just to change voices?
Sure. Okay, so track 9 is called 16 Years. And it's kind of kind of a secondary, almost a spoof kind of thing, kind of a mocking of track 3, which was 8 years. So the whole 8 years thing was, it's been 8 years since the last life, but 16 years is the entire time in the house. We've actually, the foundation, whatever, has actually been in this house at this point in time for 16 years. And so this song is actually, it kind of fucks up the album. It's almost actually a kind of a happy ending to the album, which is not a Healer stick all so much, son.
No, but we thought it would be funny. Just, because especially, the song, the second to last song, The Lone Remains, is a dreary keyboard, 3 a.m, dark, no lights on song. And then fuck it. Why not end the song with a 2-minute song that's kind of a celebration and almost a mockery of the whole album, which is kind of what we do. We mock our shit anyway. Yeah, we kind of have to. It's kind of part of our survival. Right. So the song 16 Years, it's kind of a sped up, more rockin' version of 8 years, and it's way less depressing actually than 8 years. And the lyrics are just pretty much about just saying, hey, we're here. At least so far, we don't know if it's going to last forever, but we've been here we pulled off 16 years so far. The foundation has whatever, and we're still sitting here, and we still got beer, and fuck it, let's at least be a little bit happy about that, as dreary as we are, yeah. Let's be at least celebrate the fact that as much as we think, I don't know. There's just a lot of sad things and bad things and whatever. Let's at least celebrate, hey, even if our album sucks, hey, at least we're able to do it. And it's been 16 years, and so we kind of wrapped that whole album up with a short song that was kind of a celebration, saying, hey, at least it's been 16 years, we pulled it off so far. Hopefully more. If we could do it, we will. If not, at least we got 16. So that was it. That was... That was it, man. That's the end of the album. That was it. That's everything we've done this year. As far as Healers goes, anyway. So, that was it. Healers, Back Down. Recorded, we actually started that in December 20-something of 2019. And we got the songs, everything done by, I guess, late November, early December 2020. So there you go, the 9 tracks of Back Down by HeelerZ. Good night. That's it. I don't think we need to prolong this much longer. How far are we into this damn thing? We're just over 59 minutes, so that's just about right. An hour's good. Yeah, okay, let's wrap it up then, man. So that was it. Take it or leave it. Whatever, that's what HeelerZ did for the year. Our album, Back Down. Back Down was the theme of 2020 for HeelerZ. And I'm here with Zon Martin Richardson. And who am I, Zon? Who are you? You are Jamie Robin Richardson. And who are we here with? We are always here with BeanZ LovE Richardson, our CaninE CompanionN HerO. And we hope to pull this off a little more. We'll get into this later, but we do have some other projects that may occupy the first few months or whatever of 2021, if we're still all able to go at that point. We'll try to start working on another HeelerZ album. We don't know if we're going to get one out next year because we may have some other shit coming up, but we'll get into that later anyway. This is HeelerZ. Say something. This is HeelerZ. It's Monday, December 21st, 2020. It's 11:36 and 13 seconds p.m. This was our commentary on this year's album we did called Back Down. Good night. Good night.